What's up, guys? Welcome back to the MLG Winter Exhibition. I'm axeltoss, joined by axslav. We're currently watching a best of 5 of the second semifinal in between Thorzain and herO. herO is currently up 1-0. Before we go into Game 2, though, youtube.com/official MLG SC2. You need to know about this YouTube channel because pretty much all the awesomeness you see on screen here is going to be there in 1080p HD. Yesterday's match is already up there. Marine King Prime versus Bly. Check it out. Of course, every single other match from the Winter Exhibition is there as well.
A lot of great content there.
Yes.
In fact, you can see Thorzain's matches against Creator. Those are great.
Also,
great
Rules of Engagement VODs are there as well.
Those are pretty good.
Those are
I've heard the
pretty
show is good.
By the way, comment on the videos too, because we have this thing called Comment of the Day, where we pick really good comments and then we dedicate a video to those comments, and it makes you feel special.
I like feeling special.
Yeah, so check those out. Of course, Nick, if you comment, I'm not going to choose your comment as comment of the day, because I know you like feeling special, but I want these guys to feel special. Should we go into Game 2?
Let's do it.
Enough rambling.
Let's do it. Game number 2.
axeltoss, be quiet. Get into Game 2 right now, or I will
see it. Akalon Waste.
Reach through my monitor and strangle you with my hand.
And this is a good map for Thorzain. In fact, we saw Creator play Thorzain here, and Creator was so nervous about playing on this map that he did that gateway all in.
Yeah.
And of course, Thorzain held it, won that game. That was the start of Thorzain's comeback. Could we see a repeat here against CJ herO?
So I have a question.
Yes, sir.
For introduced players. If the technology was there and you could like reach through the monitor and do something, what would you do?
Reach through the monitor and...
Like would you reach through the monitor right now and start playing with the probes?
Yes.
Would that be the first thing you'd do?
Oh yeah, I love probes.
Okay. I think what I would do is get on Skype with my family at home and then have them put my dog on Skype and then I'd pet my dog.
That'd be pretty nifty.
I think that's what I'd do.
Pretty nifty.
I miss my dog. All right.
I would rather pet a probe, to be honest.
Yeah.
They're more
I don't
unique.
know how they'd feel. I think I'd rather pet a Zerg.
Well, Zerg might rip your arm off, though.
Yeah, that's true. Well,
you might lose your
yeah,
hand in a
that's
monitor. You might come back, you gotta stomp.
What if you could jump into the actual world? All right, we're getting a little bit silly. Top left-hand location. We have the gentleman who's currently up 1-0 in this best of 5. He's 2 wins away from advancing on to the finals of this tournament to face off against Marine King Prime. Representing Team CJ Entis, he is herO. His opponent in the bottom right-hand location is the Red Terran player representing Team Evil Geniuses. Dubbed the King in the North, a very mighty foreigner Terran player. He is Thorzain. And for if you're just now watching and you don't know, this occurred to me today that I use this term so often that its meaning might be lost on newer users. The term foreigner means non-Korean, which is kind of weird when you think about it, but that's pretty much what it is.
It's you know, it's. I think people are gonna slowly convert to say non-Korean, but it's kind of less. It's more clunky to say that. So it's something that's in transition.
Should we start doing that, or what do you think?
I usually try to if I remember, but it's not always.
So non-Korean.
Yeah, non-Korean player. Thorzain's one of the few non-Korean players that stands up to the top Koreans.
I like that.
Of course, this map, I mentioned it earlier, it's really good for Thorzain. And the reason why is it's all about the 4th base. This map, it's pretty easy to get 4 bases up and cover your defense of the 4 bases. And Thorzain's win percentage when he has 4 bases versus Protoss, that's the key base, is can Thorzain get that 4th base and stabilize it versus Protoss? If you can, I think I've seen him lose like twice in like 50 games of the 4 base situation. So that's like the super late game stage when Terran can really set up that 4th base. If Thorzain can do it, he basically wins the vast majority of the time. The hard part is getting there.
Yeah. One does not simply take a 4th base. My favorite Batman quote. What's your favorite Batman quote? With great power comes great responsibility. You knew that. See, I was going to say it before you said it.
I was going to say that you either die here or you live to become the villain.
That's not a Batman quote. That's
okay. I'm sorry.
It's like that's from the Avengers.
Okay.
You're silly. All right. There's people watching that are like have no sense of when I'm joking. So
this is true.
Sorry.
So herO again is doing that same build. Expansion, Mothership Core, then you get that Sentry back to defend it. This is a great build. You have the Sentry back to protect against a Reaper counterattack. You have the Sentry back to stop the SCV Scout.
Straight into Robo too.
Yes. Oh yeah. I mean, there's no reason to get more than 1 gateway in PvT unless you want to do a gateway bust. I mean, or early on. Or, you know, obviously, you get more later. But because as long as you have that Mothership Core, you can't die before like the 9-minute mark. Or you can,
unless they Ghost Rush and they EMP your Mothership Core.
That's true. But that's why you scout with the Mothership Core. You'll see the Ghost Academy, and you'll know, uh-oh, I better get more units out.
Oh, I love how he does this. This is the second game in a row he's done this.
You know, I've always been interested to try to figure out how much does it affect the SCVs there.
You know, theoretically we could calculate it right now. You put your mouse, and then you count how long.
Or you just hit the income tab.
Oh,
no, but because
the
SCV count constantly changes as well, so it's a little bit harder.
If you put your mouse there and count how long it takes to get in between the mouse and back.
Yes.
Right. Theoretically, you could do that, but I'm a little bit too lazy. So I'm not going to be doing that right now. But I can tell you it is slower. Nice. It makes it slower.
Oh, yeah.
I can tell you that much.
It definitely does. It'd be nice to put, like, a number of minerals. Like, how many minerals does it hurt an opponent if you get, like, you know,
well, we could say it's definitely worth it. I mean, because you get this energy back on the Mothership.
That's true. There's nothing else he would use it on. As soon as he sees the expansion. Now, if the tier was on one base, I'd be pretty sure he wouldn't do that because you want to save the energy to help defend. Yeah, you defend against Widowmine drop with Photon Overcharge, defend against frontal attack with Photon Overcharge. Ooh, Sentry's going to try to deny that Reaper Scout. What is it? Oh, I was wondering if he's going to do that. Great force fields there. The Reaper does see the double forges, but that's energy he'll get back, and killing the Reaper is not easy. Yeah. So anytime you get that Reaper kill, that's a big win for the Protoss opponent. And look at what hero's doing. One gateway, one robo.
Yeah.
Straight to double forge, straight to robotics bay. And these are things you can get away with that, you know, the photon overcharge ability.
It's important, like, some people will go try this at home and just not build units out of this warp gate. But you want to get those sentries out as fast as possible. Like, the 3 sentries are going to be so important here. Maybe add on a 4th, but 3 is generally the good number to get.
It is, and you have to be confident in your ability to use force fields and photon overcharge to defend because you don't have that many units. You also have to macro well. You know, 1 warp gate macroed well is worth 3 that aren't macroed at all, right?
Yes.
Or actually, it's worth infinite that aren't macroed at all. So it's very important to stay on top of your production, keep your money low. herO, of course, you know, I mean, this is what he does for Nick, right? He's very good at that. The Mothership, of course, is a little bit out of position, but 3 sentries should be fine.
Killed the Marine that was there.
Yeah, exactly. And as long as his force fields are good, you can block that with 3. If you make a tiny mistake, which is usually common if you're rushing, then you can use 4. So hero's in no problem, even getting Twilight Council, so he can continue, excuse me, to keep his tech going up.
Yep.
And Thorzain, no 3rd base quite yet. Usually throws one down around now, but what is he going to do?
No extra barracks either. I think it's going to come down momentarily.
Yeah.
He's building up the money right now, slowly but surely. I like the 3 observers once again here from herO. If you're I'm the kind of guy who will have 6 observers on a map. Vision
with speed too, right? Get that observer speed.
A little bit later.
Yeah, eventually though.
Yeah, eventually I get that. Because I don't go for fast Colossus. I like getting
Oh yeah,
because you need the upgrade. Yeah. You need the upgrade of the Robo Bay, but I don't go for fast Colossus generally in my play.
So you're not going to get that.
I go for lots of gateway units.
So hero's moving out here. He's got 2 time warps on this core. If Thorzain doesn't realize that, Thorzain has to back away.
What if he's going to scan that observer? Because he has to be wondering, okay, how did he know I was there? What's going on? And he can kind of notice.
Oh, there's 2 observers clumped up. 1 scan, get rid of both. Is Thorzain going to take the opportunity? Oh, the opportunity is vanishing. Of course, herO didn't intentionally put 2 observers there. He had 1 retreating back to help cover another angle. And
see what he did there.
The pass crossed.
Yeah. Oh, he just loaded up 2 medevacs, and herO knows this. Backing up. No Vikings here.
Now Thorzain's like, okay, something's wrong here.
Up.
Use that scan, gets rid of those observers. Very important if you're a Terran player to utilize those scans for those. The medevacs are shooting to the main. He knows the Protoss army is out on the map. Can herO get units back in time to defend?
He could theoretically recall, which might not be a terrible decision.
He has a photon cannon. That'll help him my time.
Yes, he does have a photon cannon there in his main base. Very safe play here from herO. Going to back up with his gateway units, but Thorzain is just going to pick up and get out of there. I think he killed a couple pylons, which won't supply block herO, but it's nice.
And all those kills add up. You know, your damage that the Terran has basically succeeded in doing. Of course, the problem is that herO went for upgrades really fast, and Thorzain really has been delaying his upgrades. You know, he didn't try to keep pace with herO. So if he only kills a couple pylons, that's going to put him behind in the game, just like we saw in Cloud Kingdom. You know, if the general rule in StarCraft is if your opponent is making all these late game investments, right? You need to either make equivalent late game investments or do some damage. So you either need to take a fast 3rd, keep up on upgrades, tech fast, or do damage. And unfortunately, Thorzain hasn't really done any of those. His 3rd is It's very similarly timed to herO's. His upgrades are behind, his tech's behind, and he hasn't done damage. So the trick is going to be,
he's got to get those cost-efficient engagements in.
Exactly. He has to do the engagements very well. He does have Ghost coming out now, so he's not going to be too far behind in tech. And at least he's starting 2-2 now, so he won't be in a weird situation where it's 1-1 versus 3-3
yeah,
or anything.
herO's kind of delaying his 3-3 a little bit.
He is.
Might wait for the 5th and 6th gas.
He looks like he was prioritizing Storm and several Templar.
I'm
to be
okay
sure that,
with that decision.
Yeah, even with 2-2, if you don't have the AoE, once the Terran Bio hits a certain point, they can just pull their SCVs and kill you.
Yep.
Especially with a single Colossus, you're not going to win. But if you rush out that Storm in time, they try to pull the SCVs, 1-2 Storms, and all of a sudden, they look very, very foolish.
That's pretty interesting, too, the fact that he only got 1 Colossus, and he did not research range. So, in an ideal world, you're showing off that Colossus to your opponent, maybe even be fancy and hallucinate a couple, and then try to convince your opponent that you're going Colossus, so then they overinvest in Vikings.
And Thorzain
then you tech to Storm really fast.
Thorzain already has 6 Vikings. The ideal number of Vikings versus a single no-range Colossus is actually 0. You actually don't want any, because if you have 1 or 2...
Trick question.
Yeah,
you should be like, everyone, if you're watching this on YouTube, pause the video and then ask the question. Well, ask the question and then say pause the video.
Yeah, it's too late now.
It's too late now, but nice little stat there.
The reason why it's 0 is because if you just have 1 or 2 or 3, they won't actually kill the Colossus very fast. By the time they kill it, the battle's already over, and all that money has basically been wasted. If you get enough where you can kill a Colossus in a decent amount of time, then you're spending so much more than they are that it's still not good. Vikings will only become a good counter to Colossi once they get to the 2, 3, 4 count. So often you start making them earlier, so you can scale with them. But if your opponent tricks you and doesn't build any more Colossus, you're stuck in this position. Thorzain's continuing to make Vikings.
Yeah.
He only has.
I'm really surprised.
He only has 4 medevacs.
He's been scanning his army.
And 4 medevacs.
His opponent's army. Has he been scanning his opponent's army?
He couldn't have.
I haven't been watching too closely.
No, there's no way. If he was scanning, he wouldn't keep making Vikings. Only 4 medevacs is actually a very small amount. Normally you want 8 to 10 at this point in the game. Unless your opponent doesn't have any Storm and they don't have a significant number of Zealots. But against the army herO has, look how many Templar he has.
These Immortals too.
Yeah.
There's the scan. He's like, wait a second, where are your Colossus?
Now he knows he's been tricked. Is he going to go for it anyway?
It looks like herO might be the one going for it. Great EMPs.
If you can get a couple more EMPs, the Ghosts are looking very scary out. herO got caught off guard there a bit. I don't think he was ready for Ghost quite yet. If herO runs out of Storms,
yeah, there's only 1 or 2 available. And
well,
Storms
actually,
I just saw a bunch of the back. Yeah,
he has so many Templar here. Of course, this is what he got for for skipping the Colossi range and the extra Colossus. He's coming out here.
Gotta watch out for those EMPs. The entire Marine Marauder army is gonna stem the Ghost, looking for those EMPs. Still plenty of Storms available. They're gonna start being deployed. The High Templar are a little bit in the back. We'll have to see if herO tries to pull back his main army a little bit to try to bait Thorzain's army forward, and that's when the Storms, the instrumental Storms, will come in. But for now, Thorzain is just gonna have to kite backwards.
He doesn't have the healing to resist the Zealot attack, so he's losing a lot of bio to the Zeniths now. He lands Immortals, but the lands the Vikings. The Immortals are here now. Time Warp's going down. Thorzain's army is getting ripped to pieces, even picking up a Viking and landing it. That was some cute micro to help him escape those Time Warps. Going forward, he took such a beating there.
He did.
He needs to get Cloak Ghost so he can utilize the Vikings to kill observers. And then all of a sudden...
Is it too late, though? We got some Ghosts on the way.
I think it's too late now.
herO's about to march into his opponent's natural expansion.
I think herO is just he doesn't want to charge up a ramp, because if he
wants a pylon over here as well.
He does, yeah. He wants to wait. Oh, he's going to go for it. He's got to be careful, because as he goes up the ramp, the Templar lose their spread.
There's the EMP heading to the High Templar.
He put the Templar with no energy. Oh, another EMP goes down.
Oh, it doesn't
Massive
matter.
Storms.
No Storms left.
And there's no medevacs to heal. There's only 3 medevacs, so the healing rate isn't that high. SCV's coming out to help repair the Vikings, and herO's going to back off, which is probably the right call.
I agree.
Storms,
no Storms. Whenever you're charging up a ramp, too, it's like you have to make that. You have to be like pretty far ahead, because your opponent can easily set up a concave.
And the thing is herO is so far ahead this game. From what he's accomplished so far, he's 4 bases to 3. He's up in food. He's already finished his upgrades, so all his investments can go into units. And anytime as a Protoss player, if you're ahead in macro of your Terran opponent, this doesn't happen too often, but when it happens, the best thing to do is crank out a ton of Colossi. And the reason why is because there's no, if you pump out a ton of Templar and your opponent lands great EMPs, all that money was to waste. If you pump out a ton of Colossi, the only way your opponent can really beat them is by pumping out a ton of Vikings, which means that, you know, they can only do that if they're on even economy, right? There's no, like, sneaky microwave to really deal with Colossi. So if you're ahead like herO
unless obviously you like find some high ground where your Vikings can hang out and your Protoss opponent can't shoot them, and then you start killing Colossi. I feel like that's one of the only ways.
Or herO has Storm though. So.
Or if Colossus get mismicroed across the map. Like those are the only two examples I can think of. But herO gonna start pressing towards his opponent's natural expansion.
He's not gonna charge up that ramp yet.
Oh, there go the EMP. Still a lot. Look at all those High Templar.
Yeah, all those High Templar still have energy, which is good for him. He keeps him in the back. You know, he doesn't do the crazy spread Templar that we see Party or Rain do. But what he does is he keeps him back so you don't get EMP too easily, and that's actually almost as effective. Now, all he has to do here is deny Thorzain's 4th base. And with his food advantage and a Colossi there with a small Viking count to deal with him, I think he's in good shape to do that. In fact,
Pylon here as well.
Yeah, Pylon's there, more EMPs going down, but the Templar has still been untouched.
All right, still plenty of ghosts in this composition here from Thorzain, looking for those Templar, needs to get those EMPs. A lot of Colossus in the battle here now. But Thorzain coming in from every single side. So many storms all available. There's one storm onto the ghosts and the Marines and Marauders. EMPs going down, but still some storms available here for herO. He's trying to bust his opponent's front door open. All the Colossus are taken out, and just like that, all these Immortals and High Templar might be a little bit vulnerable, but here comes a huge Zealot wave of reinforcements that'll keep herO from having to retreat all the way home.
Going up the ramp is definitely cost inefficient, but herO's up ahead enough in macro. I think he just thinks it doesn't matter anymore.
Yeah, he might be right too.
He might be right, but you know, he's taking a beating here actually. Oh, massive storm there. That was a good one. One more on the Marines, and that might end the game. Oh, there it goes.
Ouch. herO playing those storms very well, but Thorzain might be able to clean this up. He's pulling some SCVs, so it's going to be a pretty high cost to actually get rid of this, or what remains of this Protoss army. And he's going to be able to do it, but...
He's going to clean it up, but I mean, his 4th has been unable to land through no planetary. herO's macro is insane. He just warped in like 30 Zealots at once. And the key thing is herO's continuing to produce Colossi. Thorzain's main is pretty much mined out. His natural's almost gone as well.
Can he kill all these charge lots? I mean, eventually he can just lift up and go into the main and then just try to do micro.
Yeah, he can. I mean, Thorzain can definitely trade. herO doesn't care, though. herO's like, I'll just kill something. If I kill something, you're going to die because you're out of money, right? Your main's mined out, your natural's mined out, your 3rd is all you're running on. As long as I stop that 4th from landing, I'm going to win the game. Thorzain's big problem is he lost pretty much all his Vikings, only has 2 left, and he doesn't have the economy to rebuild them. He has to rebuild the ground units to deal with the Zealot warp-ins, but herO has economy to both warp in billions of Zealots and continue Colossi production. We see him moving out now with an army of 5 Archons, 2 Colossi. As soon as he gets a few Zealots to go in front of those, which I assume is going to be the next step there, there's a little warp in, a few more Templar and Zealots. I don't see any way Thorzain can hold his 4th base against this attack.
Huge army here, even 3 observers.
Oh, nice ghost control there, but and the ghosts are getting isolated, and I mean, even without the Templar, this is too much Protoss.
No Vikings in the air. And there's the GG well played from Thorzain. Pretty good game too. herO basically displaying why he's so good.
Yes.
At this game.
herO's just his playing an extremely solid set of PvT. His macros on point, his upgrades are on point. His build order was more streamlined, right? He tech faster, he upgraded faster, he expanded faster relative to what you normally see in a PvT. And then, of course, when that battle came, Thorzain was stuck with, like, I think it was 12 Vikings that really kind of just...
They landed.
Yeah, I mean, they were basically like Marines, and except they're very expensive Marines.
Indeed. So well played again from herO. He's going to be up 2-0 in this best-of-5 series, which means he's 1 win away from getting to the final to play Marine King Prime Thorzain, the last non-Korean in this tournament. He has to win 3 in a row. We'll have to see if he can get it done next after a quick break.